Metro Plus C-Series launched as B-Series phased out.
WolvHaven's 10th anniversary events are revealed.
And new blocks and items available to survival players as the new Nether launches.
I'm Perfect Trains.
And I'm Matthew Tofu in One North. And Newsroom WolvHaven starts right now. Communers were left with a pleasant surprise earlier this month as fare gates were left open following issues with WolvHaven's homemade Metro Plus plugin. NewsNet also learned that these issues caused several server crashes.
These issues prompted server dev Atson to announce a phasing out of the B-Series Metro Plus cards by the 5th of April, with informing players to refund their current tickets at ticket machines and purchase new ones. Further issues occurred with players seemingly being unable to refund their cards after being informed that their card was not in the database.
WolvHaveners are set for a festive start to April as events for the server's 10th anniversary were revealed by admin Josh on the 3rd of March. As part of the lead-up to the main decennial event at Parade Grounds in Fifth Haven on Saturday, April 3rd, other events were also announced, such as a screenshot competition with players being able to submit screenshots competing under the, quote, "Home is where you make it" theme up until the 26th of March, with voting set to take place between the 27th of March and April 1st. The introduction of 2 new paintball maps, and an invitation to decorate Gardelia and Callidian towns for the chance to win 5,000 WolvHaven dollars, and a feature on the official WolvHaven Twitter and Instagram.
WolvHaveners were able to enjoy part of the new 1.16 features without having to wait for the Pangea reset. On the 5th of March, DevCon member _11 announced that a Nether world featuring new 1.16 blocks and items would be accessible from a sign warp at spawn. Still to come on Newsroom WolvHaven. The first bills and motions of the 14th Parliament of WolvHaven were passed, rejected, and discussed.
And Cranbrook Supreme Leader opens a new metro line. The No Confidence Bill proposed by Minister for Internal Affairs Coetzee, which aims to, quote, hold an emergency House of Representatives vote to replace an inactive minister or a minister whose confidence has been lost, was passed by Parliament with 4 ayes to 0 nays.
Concretely, this bill enables members of the House of Representatives to file a motion of no confidence against members who they felt neglected their duties and to have them replaced by a player nominated and selected by both the House of Representatives and the Senate. For more on this bill, we spoke to the Minister himself.
Hello there, Coetzee. Why did you propose this bill?
I propose this bill to essentially not have a repeat of what was previous terms in the sense that an office would be left inactive or abused, and put in place a system to effectively remove and replace a ministerial position, as such system has not existed before.
Why did you consider not holding by-elections instead in the case a minister is impeached?
I feel it would be too much of a hassle to create a by-election, especially when many of us are currently busy or have real-life commitments. This job can be left to a joint House of Representatives and Senate vote that will happen when the bill is enacted.
Won't the House of Representatives themselves voting on a replacement member cause a conflict of interest, even more so when it comes to electing a replacement General MP? Will there be any safeguards to ensure that the MP or minister chosen, and not directly elected by the public, has wide support from the population?
Ministers were elected for the people by the people. Of course, there will always be conflicts of interest as long as there are different opinions, and that is the exact reason why Parliament is not a single person. In addition, the entire Parliament, including MPs in the Senate, will vote to include the best vote threshold, and result is ensured. Therefore, I trust my colleagues to do the responsible thing and have the community in mind when voting on such issues, because after all, it is the people that voted for them.
Thanks for that. Following amendments, a motion of no confidence would only be allowed to be filed every 2 months, inclusive of the 2 months after the state opening of Parliament, and no motion would be allowed to be filed within 2 months of the previous one, except in extenuating circumstances. The Parliamentary Salary Bill proposed by Independent Avenige 2008, which aims to, quote, offer monetary payments to members of Parliament, was rejected by Parliament unanimously with 6 nays. The bill was opposed by Minister for Internal Affairs Coetzee, who stated that the already passed Parliamentary Department Foundation Bill negated the need for the bill. He stated that the bill was an unnecessary act of bureaucracy and that the aforementioned Parliamentary Department Foundation Bill was already under review by the Senate.
I was born to be free.
The Bedrock Compatibility Motion proposed by Independent Pro of Survival was rejected unanimously by Parliament this month, with 5 nays to 0 ayes. In their opening statement, Pro of Survival explained that the proposal would spearhead the opening of the server to players on Bedrock by using the Geyser plugin. While DevCon member _11 stated that this proposal would be feasible, he stated that DevCon would hold the final say on implementation regardless of the results of the vote, and that they have yet to evaluate the Geyser plugin.
The Calidia/Gardelia claim extension motion proposed by Independent Pro of Survival was withdrawn from discussion in Parliament this month. The motion aimed to allow for, quote, Calidia or Gardelia quarry members to apply for additional land in the area of their claims. The motion came under fire by Minister of Infrastructure and National Development, Luca HDD, who questioned how proposed changes would differ the existing rules, and the bill was later withdrawn following advice from senior moderator Bargain bin Admin.
The withdrawal came after warnings were dished out following remarks by the bill's proposer and fellow independent Crazy Shark Gaming in the debate channel, with Shark being handed a warning for their outbursts and behavior towards others, along with their frequent use of words such as retard, which may have offended certain individuals, and another for their consistent jabs at players' spellings with the intention to provoke breach of peace. Perv Survival was also given 2 warnings for fighting with Shark and backseat moderation, while II McLaren 6926 was also warned under Section 61A of the Penal Code for having asked Shark to, quote, not do a delf, a reference to fellow WolvHavener Delfino88.
The restriction on message deletion motion proposed by independent Matthew Tofu was passed this month by Parliament with 4 A's and 0 nays. The motion aimed to ensure that, quote, no statements made by MPs or independents alike in a parliamentary discussion channel can be removed by the person themselves. In his opening statement, the independent remarked that statements made in the Parliament in real life could not simply be deleted, and that the WolvHaven MPs and independents alike should be able to backtrack from their statements by simply making their messages disappear.
WolvHaven support services have been streamlined as the #technical report channel was merged into the regular Help Pop ticket system. On the 14th of March, Admin Karu announced that this change was made following an internal review.
He stated that the use of the technical report section of Helpop will remain the same as previously, and that should players encounter any bugs, exploits, or issues in the server or website, that they should open a ticket under the DevCom section.
And finally, some Gardelia news. Cranbrook's new metro line, the Waterfront line, officially opened on the 11th of March, linking Cranbrook Central to Sereneville.
The city's leader, Bargain bin Admin, called the opening up of the new subway stations as a testament of his, quote, unrelentless love towards the people of Cranbrook.
And before we go, don't forget you can submit all your questions to Newsnet via the #NewsNet Google Forms linked on your screen right now. They'll be answered next month. And that's it for this edition. We hope we'll see you next month.